So, Mike Bithell, the developer behind Thomas Was Alone and Volume, just released a surprise game. In response, here's a surprise video. Right back at ya, Mikey B. Bithell's little surprise package comes in the form of Subsurface Circular, text-driven adventure game. Part visual novel, part 3D space, part simulation of London's Circle Line, though with some more lively occupants. The game tells a story of the nearish future and the robots and people who live there. You play a robot gumshoe who, despite the fact that robots don't wear shoes, is determined to uncover the reasons behind the recent spate of robo-nappings. It's classic detective work here, questioning other robots on the titular train and finding out what they know and how they know it. Essentially the basics covered in Robo-Detective Training 101. Glad we all took that class, right? The way this plays out is via dialogue choices driven by a slowly expanding databank of focus points. This little bag of words and phrases serves as your inventory with the classic point-and-click format. Identify which phrase would be actively useful in this situation, and then try all of the other words to hear the delightful dialogue behind them before actually continuing with your investigation. The game plays with this mechanic in a couple of different ways over its short 2-hour runtime, with logic puzzles and the like. And that's the game. A neat, well-told little story driven by dialogue selection. Simple, right? Well, yes and no. This game was announced on Bithell's Twitter the day it was released, with a collection of articles on Kotaku, Eurogamer and other sites appearing soon after. There was no hype train, no months of ramp-up, no drip feed of information, just boom. Here it is. And here's a couple of interviews, thank you kindly. I think that's both a bold move, but an important one for this short type of game. From the game's dev commentary, lovingly delivered by a Bithell bot in-game, we find out that this small project came from a place in between. Bithell was pitching his new project around town and wanted to get something else out, something small, polished, and interesting. Et voila, Subsurface Circular, a little game with a little price tag that's maybe more than a little bit interesting. This sense of clarity is something I've always loved about game jam games in particular. The time limit ensures that the games have a sharp focus, or at least the good ones do, and this can sometimes be lacking from fully blown, feature-rich releases. Even in big budget games that fire on all cylinders, there's times you can find yourself wishing for something a little smaller, something that takes an idea and just runs with it for a little while. These could well be experiments, rehearsals for something bigger down the track, but they also manage to stand out on their own merits, just like Subsurface Circular. Anyway, fairly short video today, just saw and played through the game and thought I'd let you all know about it and that it's super rad, and for the price of a fancy coffee, definitely worth checking out. I'll leave a link to the game below in the description, and I'll see all of you in the next video. Ta-ra for now!